Good morning, everybody. It is the day I've been waiting for since the last day of deer season last year. It's opening day here in New York, October 1st. We're gonna head down to Cherry Ridge and we're gonna sit on the gator path and we're gonna try to let the air out of a big old nanny doe. There's been some big doe that have been walking down that path just about every morning, coming back from where they've been feeding out in the creek bottom. Actually, I think they're actually coming from across the road on Carl's new seating, and I think they're crossing the road, coming right down through the creek bottom and walking up that gator path where I'm going to be at. And I'm going to be sitting there with my bow and we're going to smack one. So we're going to get our stuff around. Just got a pot of coffee in me. We're going to head for the woods. It's actually, we got a wind out of the southwest and it's only 44 degrees out right now. So it's pretty darn cold. Let's get to the woods. Okay, it's finally light out. We've got a perfect wind coming right out of the southwest. Sets up perfect for this tree stand. It's kind of on a pinch point on the edge of the creek. I'm going to show you on Onyx exactly what it's like here. I'm right along the gator path. I'm expecting the deer to come from my right, coming down this path to bed over here in the thick stuff by the duck blind. There has been a pretty good sized bear utilizing these gator paths in here, but it's pretty much mostly all nighttime videos I've been getting of him. There's also a decent 8-point that's been in here quite a bit during daylight. Early in the morning he's bedding back in here. Not a deer that I would shoot, but a nice looking buck nonetheless. There's really only 4 bucks that I would even think about shooting on our farm this year. Got Crabby, Hollywood, Wells, and Slingshot. Those are the 4 deer that I'll be focusing on as it gets better and better. We're gonna try to let the air out of a big doe this morning and kick off the season with some blood. I got a trail camera on video mode right out here in front of me. It'd be awesome if I could let that doe get to that camera and get the patch through shot. Nonetheless, it's exciting to finally be back in the tree. I've waited all year for this day, so we'll turn you on when something happens here. Well, ended up being a bust this morning. Never heard or saw a deer, so we can only go up from opening morning. We're gonna go check some of these cameras and see what's moving around, and then we're gonna be back after them this afternoon. So we'll see you then. Well, I've been checking some cameras here, and I have this camera up over this scrape, and you can see this scrape has been absolutely hammered. This past week I just freshened them all with this Wyoming County Whitetail buck urine. And the bucks have been hammering them. I'm gonna show you a sped up version of what's on this trail camera here, because there's so much footage on it from bucks hitting this scrape that it would take forever, but I'll show you how well this stuff works. It just drives these deer nuts. I actually just almost freak out when they smell it. They're so intrigued by it or something. I'm gonna check this hanging vine that I have set up under this apple tree right next to the soybean plot. I wanted to show you guys the plot. You guys haven't seen it in a while, and show you all the pods that are coming. Lots of tons and tons of pods on each one of these things. How good you can see them, but this stuff is extremely tall out there. I'm gonna set this camera up so you can see it. Okay, I ripped out one of the soybean plants to give you kind of an appreciation for how big these things really are. Absolutely huge. Look at all the bean pods coming on that one. And then up there in the corner I planted all the top part to brassica. And I actually planted brassica right in here amongst the soybeans. And it did do pretty good up there where the soybeans were a little spotty. You can see, you know, if you dig down through here, you can normally find a few brassicas that are growing somehow, even though there's no sunlight getting to them. But let's go ahead and check this camera and see if we got anything good on it. Okay, so I just checked that camera and I had one of my hitless bucks on it, so I want to be kind of quiet. That's the buck that I call Wells. He's got 5 on one side, 4 on the other with a bunch of junk on the base. Really nice old buck. I actually think it's the deer that I've called oldie for years. He's a really old, mature buck that actually put on quite a few inches this year from last year. But I want to show you this brassica up here. It's massive. It's absolutely huge. So this is the old fence line right here, and I took and rototilled this whole fence line down because it was full of woodchuck holes after I took the fence out, and I just broadcasted brassica onto it. And I mean, I wish you guys could really see how big this stuff really is. I mean, it's really something unbelievable. I mean, that's, the stems on them are bigger than my thumb. Look how big that one is. They're huge. I tell you, there's not going to be any shortage of food for these buggers this winter up here. Well, I just came up on this little fawn. Something's definitely wrong with it. It's got, looks like diarrhea really bad and looks really sickly, tiny. Now it's just standing right there about 15 feet from me. Yeah, the fawn's, something's wrong with it. It's about 5 feet from me right here. It's got diarrhea super bad there. I can see on its. Hate to see that. You know, you almost question if it'd be good just to put it out of its misery. Obviously he's gonna die. It's the size of a small puppy and it's October 1st. I guess we'll let Mother Nature run its course. Hate to see stuff like that. I put a lot of time and effort into managing the property so they can thrive, and then to see them like that, it's really sad.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yep.
It is the, oh, can you not? It is the opening day of archery season here in New York. Can you start over?
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So it is October 1st and today is the opening day of archery season here in New York.
They know that from this morning, so.
So why didn't you tell me that before we did this?
Just start with like, as if this is the evening hunt. They know about, opening day and stuff. Because they've already watched the morning hunt. Okay.
Okay, so why didn't you say that already?
Okay, so.
Okay. It is the evening of October 1st, and Cliff and I are up to a stand tonight where we both can hunt together in hopes of a big bear that comes out. If not, though, I will harvest a doe tonight. I'm open to that, or a big buck, whatever. That'd be nice too. But the wind is good for us up here. It's about the only place, so we came up here tonight. So, fingers crossed a big bear steps out. I'd be thrilled. Do you have anything to add, my cameraman?
Shoot straight.
Okay, Kaylee and I made it back to the tree stand. We're right down in the corner. There's an apple tree right here that's still holding a few apples and has been dropping a bunch this past week. There's been a bunch of deer eating at these apples that have been falling. There's been a few bears here as well, so there was a bunch of turkeys out when we got down here. The food plot up here didn't do very good this year. We got a bunch of rain right after it got planted, and it just never really had a chance to take off. But I came up here with 300 pounds of winter wheat or rye, and hammered it about 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago now. So that's all coming up nice. We'll see. We'll see what happens tonight. Kaylee's itching to let that bow fly. Let that arrow fly. Hopefully she doesn't let the bow fly. If she lets the bow fly.
Maybe you should stop while you're ahead.
I can't talk. Kaylee says just stop talking. We'll be seeing some deer shortly, I bet.
Quit messing around.
Too big doll. That's a little spike just walked out.
I can still see the other doe off to the woods.
Nice little spike. Those apples dropping should call them in. If I was a deer and heard an apple drop to the ground, I'd walk over and eat it.
We're back. Are we gonna get a little post hunt? Post hunt interview?
What?
Tell us about the hunt. How'd it go? What did we see?
Well, we saw 3 does, a tiny itty bitty spike, a bigger spike, a crab for a point, and then a bigger buck. I couldn't tell what it was. It was getting too dark. And a lot of chipmunks.
It was actually a 6 point. It came and ate apples right next to us. Wasn't a 4 point. It had 6 points. No, it had brow tines.
All I could see was
6 points for sure. It ate apples about 10 yards in front of us, but Kaylee must be couldn't see its head.
vision's not the greatest. I picked this for a husband.
What do we got on
What?
what do we got here?
Rapid cheese soup. I made earlier.
Mmm.
Excuse me.
Okay, everybody, that's gonna do it on day 1 of the 2021 archery season. Guess what? Day 2's tomorrow. So, we'll see you in the stand.
2 usually comes after 1.
Go figure.